Crack Clouds over Art's Kitchen by Black Kray. Crack Clouds is an old cloud rap project from an artist who doesn't get enough love. Black Kray and his music's always been sort of ahead of its time. As a kid, he certainly dressed differently and listened to music that no one else was listening to, like Witch House and stuff, most people around his, style weren't listening to. The skaters, not really bumping that stuff too often, but while he might not be the most talented artist in the world, he certainly has a style, and this album showcases it really well. Now, I don't think Crack Clouds is anything mind-blowing, but it's still a pretty great album, even if I do have numerous critiques for it. Like, for example, the album's tracklist, it's pretty inconsistent. Most of the album songs are just good, it's nothing more, nothing less, with some tracks here and there that I would call bad. For example, I'm not going to say the name, I'll say Blunt Hose. And it has this odd flute, odd beat, and it's just really unpleasant to listen to. It just sounds really, lazy, and it's just really not a good song. I know some people like it, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Another song is Paint On Me Blunt Freestyle, which is definitely something. But other than those two, there are no bad songs on this thing, and the highlights on this project really do make up for the weaker cuts. In fact, this album starts off really strong with Daydream, which is one of the most trippy and ear-satisfying songs I've heard in a minute. I mean, the production on this thing is insane. Salem knew what he was doing. It also has a speech in the beginning about the universe and God before Black Kray comes on the track, and you'd probably expect him to talk about religion or life, but nope, he just goes off about drugs, girls, and cash like everyone else does, which is something I'm not too happy about. The lyrics on this album certainly aren't special, and I just wish maybe he did a little better on this track, because it kind of makes that speech in the beginning sound useless, but damn, his flow is pretty fire on this thing, especially towards the end of the verse. He really picks up, but I feel like, like I said, the lyrics could have been better, and it's still a really friggin' good song though. Broke Designer is another good song that comes after. It's more just a basic rap song, but it's good, It's nice, it's chill, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not nearly as good as Daydream, but yeah, it's still just chill. Another song, Ice Cream and Swishers, is another highlight. This is one of the more hard-hitting tracks. It has very snappy production. It did have to grow on me though, because at first I was just like, it's kind of mid. But no, it's heat now. It also has this weird, reverb distorting part in the second verse. I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty cool. I just thought I'd mention it, even though it's not that important. The next highlight on this album, in my opinion, is Alicia Keys, which you might know as 80 Dime Bags if you're in the cloud rap scene, because, it isn't on Spotify, but Chris Travis, who is a feature on this album, did put it on one of his albums, and it goes under the name 80 Dime Bags, but it's one of the cloudiest cloud rap songs, if that makes sense. It's just a really standard cloud rap song. It hits really hard though, it's one of the better ones, and it has great verses from Black Kray, like I said, Chris Travis, and some other dude, I can't remember his name. Anyway, speaking of highlights, Hydrocodones. If it wasn't for this song alone, I probably wouldn't have given Crack Clouds a second chance, because this song is something else. Not only is it the best on the album, but it's one of the greatest, if not the greatest hip-hop song ever. And I'm not alone on that, because when RateYourMusic.com first came out with its top 10 highest rated songs, Hydrocodones sat at 3 as the only rap song on the list, and for some odd reason, people nuked it down to the 30s, which is sad because it totally deserved that top 3 spot. This is a track where we see Kray at his full potential, which is something we don't see on a lot of tracks on this album, unfortunately. But I mean, the hook speaks for itself, because it's nothing short of genius with that sample. It's so fire, and it works so well with this song. And the way Kray manages to flow over this loud, trippy Witch House beat is super impressive. He especially shines on verse 2. And it's just overall a perfect friggin' song, man. It is so hard hitting. I have to bump up the volume all the way each time it comes on. And that's 3 times a day. I mean, the song is in my top 5 or maybe even top 3 songs of all time, just like how it was on RateYourMusic.com. But sadly, people friggin' gave it negative reviews. Now it's down there. It's really friggin' weird. I don't know why. It's not even it doesn't deserve the spot or anything. After this, the album does get a little bit dry until the outro. Ice Cream Stoned Strippers, which is another song I just can't get enough of. That Charlie XCX beat, the drop on that, makes me ascend every single time. And even though this song's mixing is beyond chaotic, it still pleases my ears. The big thing on this album is clearly the production. I mean, the producers seriously need more love, but I don't think Black Kray did a bad job. Some people on the Daydream video on YouTube, because you know it's not on Spotify, in the comment section they were pointing out how his vocals suck, and I don't think that they suck. Sure, yeah, they could have been better, but I don't think Black Kray did a bad job on this. He did good, especially on songs like Hydrocodones. But sometimes I think, like, you know, I'll admit, he could have done better. But even though it's inconsistent and there's some stinkers, the highlights make up for it. My favorite tracks are Daydream, Broke Designer, Ice Cream and Swishers, Drown, Alicia Keys, Hydrocodones, Ice Cream Stones, Strippers, and this album is a decent 8 out of 10.